Rain fell hard across the jungle planet of Veridax. Trees with silver leaves swayed as thunder echoed across the sky. Hidden beneath the thick canopy, a Terran soldier named Aiden crawled through the mud, clutching his pulse rifle. His uniform was torn, and his left arm bled from a deep gash. But he kept moving forward, eyes locked on the flickering signal on his wrist display. He had been separated from his squad after the ambush. The enemy was unlike anything they'd faced before. Not machines, not beasts, but something intelligent, fast, and venomous. A single bite had melted through reinforced armor. The screams hadn't lasted long. Only Aiden had survived. His breathing was heavy, every muscle burned. But the signal on his wrist pulsed stronger now. It wasn't human. It was alien but weak. Possibly injured, he had to know. His orders were to scout. But something about this felt wrong. Too quiet, too clean. Like bait, pushing aside a branch, Aiden stepped into a clearing. His boots sank into soft moss. In the center stood a figure, a woman, or something shaped like one. Her skin was green and glistened like scales. Black hair clung to her wet shoulders. She looked at him with glowing silver eyes and smiled with needle-like teeth. "You're late," she said in a low, musical voice. "I expected your kind to run faster." Aiden raised his weapon, unsure if his fingers would respond. He'd seen what these creatures could do. Serpents, the Terrans called them. Not just because of their appearance, because of their venom. A drop could kill an elephant in seconds. They weren't known for speaking. "Are you alone?" she asked, stepping closer. Her voice carried amusement, but her eyes were calculating. He didn't answer. His trigger finger twitched. The safety was off. His arm trembled. She saw it and laughed. The sound was soft, almost beautiful. But in it was something ancient and cruel. "You're shaking," she whispered. "Don't worry. It'll only hurt." For a moment, she lunged faster than thought. Her clawed hand gripped his wrist. Her other hand struck his chest, and he felt a sting like fire. He cried out, falling to his knees. His vision swam. His body convulsed. But he didn't die. She stood above him, fangs bared, expecting his heart to stop. Instead, Aiden coughed, spit blood, and stared back at her, alive, drenched in sweat. Breathing hard, but alive, her smile faded. Her voice trembled now, not with fear, but confusion. "My venom has killed thousands," she hissed. "How are you still conscious?" He didn't answer, couldn't. Every nerve screamed. But he looked into her eyes and did not blink. That alone disturbed her more than any weapon. She backed away, circling him slowly, watching, studying, as if he were the anomaly, not her. Her tail flicked behind her like a whip. The jungle around them buzzed with life, but neither moved. "What are you?" she whispered. "You shouldn't be here." "None of you should." Aiden forced himself to his feet. His muscles shook. His heart raced. But he didn't fall. He raised his rifle again, hand steady this time. "I'm human," he said quietly. "That's enough." The moment cracked like thunder. She struck again, but he was ready. The rifle fired. Plasma tore through the trees. She screamed, twisting. Midair, but the blast clipped her side. She crashed into the brush, hissing in pain. Aiden dropped to one knee, breathing hard. He didn't chase. He didn't run. He waited. He knew she was still alive. She wouldn't die from a single shot. Not her. Not the one they called Zirel. From the shadows she spoke, voice ragged. "You surprise me, human. Most of you die without even seeing us." He replied without turning. "You tried to kill me. What did you expect?" She stepped out again, slower. Now wounded. Blood oozed from her side, black and thick like tar. She leaned against a tree, watching him. Her eyes had changed, less predator, more curious. "You should have died," she said again. "But you didn't. Maybe your venom's slipping." Aiden said flatly. Her eyes narrowed. No, that's not it. There was a pause. Rain dripped from the trees. His rifle hummed with heat. She took another step forward. He didn't raise it this time. You resisted me, she said. That means something. To me it means you're not invincible, he replied. But in truth, he didn't understand it either. The venom should have killed him. He felt it, boiling through his veins. But something held it back. Something inside him refused to die. I have to know why, she said, almost to herself. Aiden narrowed his eyes. Why what? Why you're still alive. Then she did something strange. She didn't attack. She didn't run. She knelt. Slowly, as if offering something sacred. Her hand reached for his. You're coming with me, human, she said softly. Whether you like it or not. His grip tightened on the rifle. To what? Your nest? To the truth, she said. And maybe something worse. The jungle groaned as wind blew through the trees. In that strange moment, the war seemed far away. There was only her and him, and a question neither of them could yet answer. Something ancient had been awoken in both of them, and it would not sleep again. Asterisk. Aiden didn't lower the rifle, but his mind raced with questions. The serpent alien Zarel had spared him. Not because she had to, but because something about him broke her understanding of death. She was still crouched near the tree, one hand on her bleeding side. Her dark green scales shimmered faintly as the rain eased. She tilted her head, waiting for his answer. I'm not going anywhere with you, Aiden said coldly. Give me one reason I shouldn't finish what I started. Zarel smiled without, showing her fangs. Her voice was low and steady. Because your blood and mine are now mixed. That changes everything. Aiden hesitated. His hand gripped the rifle tighter. You poisoned me. I gave you more than poison, she said. I gave you a part of myself. And yet you live. He took a step back. The venom still burned inside him, but it hadn't spread further. He should have been dead within minutes. The squad's medics had said there was no cure for a serpent bite. What does that mean? He asked. It means you're not like the others, Zarel replied. It means you belong to something older. Aiden didn't like the sound of that. He had joined the Terran forces to protect colonies, not to get pulled into alien rituals. He had seen her tear through soldiers like paper. Yet now she spoke like he mattered. You think I care about your ancient stories? He snapped. No. She said simply, but you should. He scanned the area. There was still no movement. No backup. No squad. Just her. Just him. And a truth hanging in the air like a blade. Tell me what you want, Aiden said finally. I want to understand. Why you lived, she said. And I want to take you to the source. The what? The source of our venom. The heart of our blood. If it accepts you, then you are something new. If it rejects you, you will die. Either way, I get my answer. Aiden laughed without joy. So this is a test. For both of us, she said. He didn't trust her. But there was something in her voice that sounded less like a trap and more like desperation. She wasn't just curious. She was shaken. Aiden looked down at the ground. A drop of his own blood hit a leaf and sizzled faintly. The venom was still inside him, still alive. But it wasn't killing him. Not yet. Lead the way, he said finally. But if you try anything, I swear I'll finish what I started. Zarel rose slowly, her movements smooth and feline. She didn't flinch at the threat. She nodded once and turned toward the deeper jungle. They moved in silence. The air was thick with moisture. Bioluminescent insects hovered above puddles. Strange vines hung low, some twitching slightly as they passed. Aiden stayed a few steps behind her. Always ready, he watched how she moved. Even wounded, she was graceful. Her tail balanced her like a dancer. Her hands never strayed far from her claws. She could kill in a blink. But she didn't. After an hour of walking, they reached a rocky ridge. Beneath it, a narrow tunnel opened into darkness. Aiden paused. Something about the entrance felt ancient and wrong. "You first," he said. Zyrel smirked and slipped into the tunnel without a word. Aiden followed. The walls were smooth and pulsing faintly with green light. The air grew warmer as they went deeper. The rifle in his hands felt heavier. They walked for minutes, maybe more. Time lost meaning in that strange place. Then suddenly, the tunnel opened into a cavern. Aiden stopped in his tracks. The cavern was massive. At its center bubbled a pool of glowing liquid, green and alive. It pulsed like a heartbeat. Around it stood stone pillars carved with serpents. The air smelled sharp, electric, ancient. "This is it," Zyrel whispered. "The source." He stepped forward slowly. The light from the pool bathed his skin. The burning in his chest flared stronger. The venom responded to the place like a song. "What do I do?" he asked. "Step in," she said. "If it accepts you, the venom will complete its bond. If not, it will destroy you." Aiden looked at her. "And you?" "I've already been accepted," she said. "This is your trial." He didn't like the odds, but he had come too far to turn back. He took a breath and stepped into the glowing pool. The liquid was warm, almost welcoming. It clung to his skin, sank into his wounds, and then fire, pain exploded in his chest. His arms seized, his vision went white. He screamed without sound. Every cell burned. The venom surged through him like a tidal wave. The source pulled at it, twisted it, remade it, and then silence. Aiden stood, gasping. The pain was gone. His skin shimmered faintly. The wound on his arm had closed. His blood felt like liquid fire and ice. Something inside him had changed. Zyrel approached cautiously. She looked into his eyes. Her expression changed from curiosity to reverence. "It worked," she said. "You're not just resistant. You are reborn." He looked at his hands. They glowed slightly in the dim light. His heartbeat felt deeper, slower, stronger. The venom was now part of him. Not a curse, a weapon. "What does this mean?" he asked. She knelt before him, her head bowed. "It means you are the first Terran bonded by the source," she said. "It means the war has changed." Aiden felt no joy, only weight. He was still human, but not just human anymore. And the jungle no longer felt like a battlefield. It felt like a beginning. Above them, the cavern began to shake. Distant roars echoed through the tunnel. Zyrel rose and turned sharply. "They felt it," she said. "The others, they're coming." "Let them come," Aiden said. His voice was calm. His heart was steel. The source behind him pulsed again, as if answering his words. The venom within him surged to life, and for the first time, the Serpent Queen felt fear. The cavern trembled again, stronger this time. Dust fell from the ceiling. The glowing pool rippled in warning. Aiden stood at the edge, breath steady, eyes focused on the tunnel they had entered through. Zyrel turned to him quickly. Her tone was sharp now. "We need to move. They won't ask questions." "You mean your people?" Aiden said. She nodded. "They'll think I've betrayed them, that I let a Terran near the source. Didn't you?" Her eyes narrowed. "I chose knowledge over fear. That doesn't mean they'll understand." He took one last glance at the pool before stepping back onto solid ground. The glow in his veins had dimmed, but the power still pulsed within. Every heartbeat felt heavier, stronger, like a drum before battle. Zyrel moved toward a hidden exit on the far side of the cavern. The stone parted as she pressed her hand against a carved panel. Ancient mechanisms hissed as the wall opened into another tunnel. "They'll come fast," she warned. "And they won't care if you speak." "Good," Aiden said. "Neither will one." They ran. The tunnel was tight and twisted, lined with strange carvings that lit up as they passed. Symbols of serpents and stars. Aiden didn't understand their meaning, but he felt them vibrate in his bones. Behind them, the first screech rang out. Not mechanical, not human, a primal call, filled with fury. The serpent warriors had arrived. Jarell moved with speed despite her wound. Aiden kept pace. His body responded as if it had learned her rhythm. His movements were faster, more balanced. Even the pain in his shoulder had vanished. "How many are coming?" he asked. "At least a dozen," she said. "Maybe more. Can you stop them?" "No," she said. "But you might." They emerged from the tunnel into a wide-open valley surrounded by black cliffs. The sky above them flashed with red lightning. Rain still fell, but it turned to steam as it hit the ground. The air was thick with heat and tension. Jarell stopped and turned to face the tunnel. "Here," she said. "We hold them. You sound certain." "I'm not," she replied. "But I'd rather die beside the one who broke prophecy than run from those too blind to see it." Aiden raised his rifle and checked its charge. 2 full cells, 1 grenade. The source had changed him, but he still trusted steel and fire. Ground shook again, then the tunnel exploded outward. Stone flew in all directions. And out they came, serpent warriors, tall and armored in dark plates that shimmered like oil. Their eyes glowed red. Their fangs were bared. They moved with deadly purpose. The first one rushed forward. Aiden fired. Plasma burst from the barrel and struck its chest. The armor melted instantly. The warrior dropped in a heap of smoke. The others hesitated only a moment. Then they charged. Jarell leapt into the fight. Her claws tore through the air. She spun, struck, and vanished into the blur. Aiden fired again and again, cutting down 2 more. But there were many. One reached him. Aiden ducked the blow and drove his elbow into the warrior's throat. The force cracked bone. The venom in his blood surged with the impact. The warrior collapsed, twitching violently. They kept coming. Faster, angrier. One slammed into Aiden, knocking him back. He rolled, came up on one knee, and fired into the creature's face. Its scream ended in silence. Blood mixed with rain. Steam hissed off their bodies. The battlefield smelled of metal and heat, and something older. Jarell screamed as a spear pierced her side. She twisted, tore the weapon free, and slashed her attacker's throat. She stumbled back toward Aiden, panting hard. "There's too many," she said. "No," Aiden replied. "They're just enough." He moved forward this time. Not just to defend, to end it. He launched the grenade. It hit the ground and erupted in fire. 3 warriors vanished in flame. Then Aiden ran into the smoke. He struck with hands, with feet, with the venom that now lived inside him. His eyes burned like light. Every blow broke bone. Every scream was short. They began to fall back. Even the fearless could smell death. And now it had a name. One warrior, taller than the rest, stepped forward. His armor was layered in black stone. A crown of bone curled from his head. He carried a staff tipped with a glowing spike. "Jarell," he growled, "you kneel with prey." "I stand beside evolution," she answered. "Then you'll die beside it." He raised the staff. Lightning cracked across the sky. The earth split beneath their feet. But before the strike landed, Aiden was already there. He struck the staff with his bare hand. It shattered. The warrior stumbled back, eyes wide. Aiden didn't stop. He grabbed the crown of bone and ripped it from his head. Then he brought his fist down. The warrior fell. Silence filled the valley. The last few serpent fighters backed away. They looked at Jarell, then at the human. The fear in their eyes said more than words. Aiden turned to Jarell. Blood ran down his arm, but he was still standing. "Is it over?" he asked. "For now," she said. "But they'll return with more." "Let them," he replied. Jarell stared at him. You were a soldier once. Now you're something more. I didn't ask for this, he said. No, she agreed. But neither did the storm. Thunder rolled over the hills. The ground stopped shaking. Rain fell soft again. But something had changed in the air, in them, in everything. Cyril looked to the sky. They'll send the council now. They'll want answers. They'll get one, Aiden said. I'm not done. Yet. And somewhere deep beneath the valley, the source pulsed again, as if it was waiting. Asterisk. The valley lay quiet, but it was not peace. The bodies of fallen serpent warriors still smoldered where fire and plasma had torn through them. The clouds above had turned darker. The sky was bruised with warning. Aiden stood near the broken stone. Ridge, his rifle dangled at his side. His fists were clenched. The venom within him no longer felt like a curse. It pulsed like a second heart. Zarel sat on a flat stone, clutching her side. The wound she took had sealed halfway. Her scales shimmered with pain, but her eyes burned with purpose. They saw what happened, she said. The survivors will not lie to the council. I'm counting on that, Aiden replied. She gave him a sideways glance. You're calm for someone who just killed a high commander. I'm not calm, he said. I'm focused. Zarel looked away. Her claws drummed softly on the stone. They won't just send warriors next time. They'll send seers and judges. They'll want to erase you, not understand you. Aiden walked to the edge of the ridge and looked into the jungle below. The trees swayed like waves. He could feel something stirring in the distance. Not just more warriors. Something older. Let them try, he said. I don't think you understand what that means. She warned. I don't think they understand what I've become, he answered. They stayed there for an hour. Neither spoke. The rain fell softer. Now steam drifted over the bodies. The jungle seemed to hold its breath. Then a sound broke the silence. Not a screech. Not footsteps. A low hum, deep and layered. The air thickened. The light changed. They're here, Zarel whispered. Above them, a golden disk appeared in the sky. Smooth and massive. It rotated without sound. The clouds parted around it. A beam of soft green light descended and touched the ground before them. Out of the beam walked 3 figures, tall-robed and glowing faintly. Their eyes were covered by thin veils of silver. Their hands were marked with symbols that pulsed like veins. These were not warriors. These were serpent judges. Aiden raised his weapon slightly. Zarel stood quickly and placed a hand on his shoulder. Do not attack, she said. Not yet. The lead judge stopped 10 paces away. His voice echoed without opening his mouth. You are the human who survived the bite of origin. Aiden nodded. I am. You killed Commander Threx. He tried to kill me, Aiden replied. The second judge spoke next. Her voice was softer, but colder. You touched the source. It touched me, Aiden said. The third judge moved forward. His robes parted slightly, revealing a chest covered in living tattoos. They swam beneath his skin like eels. You were not invited, he sighed. That is sacrilege, Zarel stepped forward. He was chosen. No Terran can be chosen, the judge replied. It is forbidden. Then maybe your laws are outdated, Aiden said. The 3 judges turned their veiled heads toward him, their presence pressed against his mind like a heavy stone. He didn't blink. He didn't move. We must see for ourselves, the first judge said. The green beam shifted. A symbol burned into the ground. A spiral of scales, the source's mark. Aiden felt the venom within him surge toward it. Step forward, the lead judge commanded. Aiden glanced at Zarel. She gave the smallest nod. He stepped into the spiral. The air changed instantly. His veins glowed. His skin felt hot. The ground beneath his feet pulsed with ancient power. The judges raised their hands. Energy gathered around them. They spoke in a language Aiden didn't know, but his blood understood. Symbols flared across the spiral. Light wrapped around him. Then, everything stopped. The glow faded. The judges lowered their arms. The silence was total. Even the wind halted. "It is true," the second judge said. "He carries the bond." The third judge's voice trembled. "He is no longer only human." Aiden stepped back out of the spiral. "Now what?" The first judge's face remained hidden. "Now we decide." "We?" Aiden asked. "We three do not speak alone," the second said. "The council must gather. And until then?" he asked. "You are to come with us," the third said. "Willing or bound?" Zarel tensed. Aiden raised his hand to stop her. He looked directly at the judges. "I'll go," he said. "But I don't follow orders." "You follow truth," the lead judge said. "Or you follow death." Aiden stepped into the light beam. It wrapped around him. The venom inside him reacted. Not in pain, but in warning. He felt the source watching again, judging again. Zarel looked up at the judges. "And me?" "You stay," they replied. "He will not trust you." She said. "He will not need to," the second judge replied. The light surged. Aiden vanished from the valley. The disk above pulled him into its belly. Then it turned, shimmering against the sky, and vanished into the clouds. Zarel stood alone among the dead. The jungle grew louder again. But inside her, something else had gone silent. She touched her chest, where a faint glow still remained. A trace of the bond they now shared. She whispered into the air, "Survive, human. The real war hasn't started yet." And deep below the earth, the source pulsed. Once more, its chosen had been taken, but its purpose had only just begun. Asterisk. The inside of the judge's vessel felt alive. The walls pulsed softly with light, as if the ship itself was breathing. Aiden stood inside a chamber of smooth crystal, surrounded by silence. No windows, no weapons. Just humming air and a strange warmth in his chest. He pressed his hand to his shirt. The venom was quiet now, but present. Like a second soul wrapped around his bones. He didn't understand what he was becoming. Only that it had started the moment Zarel struck him. A faint voice echoed through the walls. "Sit, human." He turned and saw a figure made entirely of light. No face, no body, just outline and sound. Aiden remained standing. "I prefer to stand." "Your choice is noted," said the voice. Another shape entered the chamber. This one was physical. A female judge, her robes silver and glowing with ancient runes. Her steps were slow, deliberate, as if each one weighed a lifetime. "I am Velrix," she said. "Seer of the ninth coil, you are Aiden, son of Earth." "You know my name," he said. "We know your blood," she replied. She circled him slowly. Her eyes were veiled, but Aiden could feel them digging into his thoughts. She stopped behind him and spoke low. "Tell me what you felt when the venom struck you." "Pain," Aiden said. "Fire, and something else. Like it was looking at me." "The source sees through its venom," she said. "What it saw in you is still unclear." "I didn't ask for this," he muttered. "No one does," Velrix replied. "Even the first of our kind screamed when chosen." A door opened on the far wall. 2 more judges entered. The one on the left carried a crystal orb. Inside it, a single drop of green liquid floated. It glowed with a light that shifted like stars. "This," Velrix said, "is the trial venom. We use it to test those who claim purity." "I already survived the source," Aiden said. "Then prove it wasn't luck," she replied. The orb floated toward him. The liquid began to vibrate. Aiden's veins pulsed in response. The venom inside him reached out without his control. The orb shattered in midair. The liquid vanished as it touched his skin. The chamber went silent again. Velrix stared at him for a long moment. Then she turned to the others and nodded. "It is real," she said. "His bond is true." The other judges murmured words in a language older than stars. Aiden didn't understand them, but his blood stirred with recognition. He stepped back, uneasy. "What happens now?" he asked. Velrix faced him. "Now we offer a choice." "What kind of choice?" "You may remain here under protection, studied, sheltered, or you may be released with the truth and hunted by our kind." Aiden folded his arms. "So prison or war?" "Insight or death," she corrected. He stepped forward, close enough to see her mouth tighten. "I didn't come here to be caged," he said. "I came to understand." "Then understand this," she said. "The venom doesn't belong in your body. It fights to change you every second. I can feel it." Aiden admitted. "Good," she said. "Then feel this too." She raised her hand. A stream of green light struck his chest. Pain bloomed like lightning. He dropped to one knee. His hands clawed at the floor. His vision blurred. Images flooded his mind. Cities burning under Serpent. Banners, humans running, screaming. Judges watching without emotion. Then flashes of something else. A tree older than time. A woman holding a blade of bone. A serpent shedding its skin and rising anew. He gasped as the vision ended. His hands shook. Velrix lowered her arm. Her voice was soft now. "That is our future, unless something changes." Aiden stood slowly. "You want me to stop it?" "No," she said. "We want to see if you can." "Why me?" he demanded. "Because the source never lies," she replied. Aiden took a long breath. The pain had faded, but something new had settled in his heart. A sense of weight, of direction. The visions weren't just warnings. They were memories waiting to happen. "I won't fight your war," he said. "You already are," she answered. He turned away. "Then I choose freedom." Velrix watched him walk to the chamber door. She did not follow, but her voice reached him before it closed. "Then prepare for those who will not accept your choice." The ship descended silently onto a rocky plateau beneath a twilight sky. Aiden stepped onto soil that was not earth, but felt familiar. Wind brushed his face. Mountains rose in the distance. And near the edge of the cliff stood a figure. Zirel turned as he approached. Her side was still wrapped, but she stood tall. "You're alive," she said. "Barely," he replied. "What did they show you?" "Enough," he said. She nodded and turned toward the horizon. "Then you know what's coming." "They'll hunt me," he said. "They'll hunt us both," she corrected. He stepped beside her. "Are you still with me?" "To the end," she said. Aiden looked at the distant peaks. The wind carried scents of ash and earth. His blood hummed again. The venom inside him was no longer just a gift or curse. It was a voice, a path, a promise. "Then let them come," he said from behind the mountains. A new light rose. Cold. Blue, not natural, ships. Dozens, no longer judges. These were hunters, war-born, sent to erase what they feared. Aiden didn't flinch. Zirel's claws extended. The bond between them flared like fire. The fight wasn't over, it had just begun. Asterisk. The sky turned blue with fire. The serpent ships broke through the clouds in silent formation, sharp as blades, cold as death. Each one carried soldiers bred not to question, only to strike. Aiden watched without fear. The venom pulsed beneath. His skin, a living signal that the source was awake. Zirel stood beside him, her claws curled tightly. Her tail flicked with tension. "There are too many," she said. "Then we stop as many as we can," he answered. "They won't stop." She warned. "They are not sent to capture, only to destroy." "I'm not going back," Aiden said. "Neither am I," she replied. The first ship hovered low. Its underside opened with a hiss. Warriors dropped in perfect formation. Black armor. White. Fangs, eyes like glass. They landed without a word. Their weapons glowed. Their orders were clear. Aiden stepped forward. "I talk first," Zarel didn't argue. She stepped to the side, her claws ready. The warriors watched silently as he approached. One stepped forward, taller than the others. His voice came through a speaker embedded in his mask. By order of the coiled council, surrender and be erased. Aiden met his stare. I didn't come this far to kneel. Then die on your feet, the warrior replied. The ground shook as the ship above released more troops. They spread across the plateau, forming a circle. Traps were set, barriers deployed. The Serpent army surrounded the last two standing rebels, Zarel hissed. They think this is victory. They're wrong, Aiden said. He slammed his hand. To the earth. The Venom responded. The source flared within him. The ground cracked beneath his feet. Green light burst upward. The air shook. The nearest warriors stumbled back. Aiden rose slowly. His body glowed with the energy of the source. His veins were fire. His heartbeat thundered like drums. He raised his hand, and lightning curved around his fingers. The lead warrior charged. Aiden met him halfway. The first blow shattered bone. The second sent the warrior flying through the air. He didn't rise, then chaos began. Warriors swarmed. Zarel moved through them like a blade. Her body twisted, claws slashing, tails snapping. She struck 3 before the first hit the ground. Aiden followed behind her, unleashing the venom through his fists. Every punch cracked armor. Every strike ended with silence. But there were too many. They kept coming. One sliced through Aiden's shoulder. Another slammed into his ribs. Pain flared, but he stood. He pushed forward. He became the storm. The source fed him strength, speed, fury. It filled his bones and sharpened his mind. But it also burned. Every heartbeat stole more from him. His human body was not meant to carry such power. Zarel saw it. You're fading. I can still fight, he growled. They want to break you, she said. Don't let them. He didn't answer. He spun and drove his palm into another warrior's chest. The venom burst outward, melting armor and flesh. The warrior screamed once and was gone. Then the ships above shifted. From their undersides, new machines dropped. Tall, insect-shaped, their legs stabbed into the ground. Their arms spun with blades. Their eyes glowed with cold intelligence. Zarel's eyes widened. Harvesters. I remember them, Aiden said. They were at the colonies. They erase everything, she said. Even memory. The harvesters moved forward. Aiden grabbed Zarel's arm. Run to the ridge, he said. Draw them. And you? I'm done running. She hesitated. Then nodded and vanished into the rocks. The warriors followed her. The harvesters turned toward Aiden. Their machines hummed louder. He raised both hands. The source erupted. Through him, the venom lashed out like chains of fire. The nearest harvester exploded in green flame. The next staggered back, limbs twitching. But the power came with pain. His vision blurred. His knees buckled. The source was eating him from within, not out of malice, but because it had no limit. And he was still human. The last harvester lunged. Aiden caught it with both hands. Its blades spun inches from his face. His arms trembled. Blood poured from his nose. His skin cracked where the venom surged. He screamed and drove the energy forward. The harvester split apart. Pieces rained across the battlefield. Smoke rose. The machine stopped moving. But Aiden fell to one knee. He couldn't rise. Footsteps approached. He looked up slowly. A figure stood in front of him. Not a warrior. Not a judge. Someone older. Taller. Wrapped in black robes with a crown of serpents. The figure spoke with a voice that shook the wind. You are the human who broke our venom. Aiden struggled to stand. I'm the one who survived it. The figure knelt. A face came into view, pale, lined, but eyes sharp as knives. I am the first serpent. Keeper of the original coil. You carry what should not exist. Aiden wiped blood from his mouth. Then take it. The first serpent shook his head. I cannot. You are bound. But I can end it. I won't kneel, Aiden said again. You misunderstand, the old one replied. I don't want your death. I want your choice. Aiden stared. Why now? Because the venom listens to you, the first serpent said. And perhaps you can teach it peace. Behind him the warriors stopped. The machines shut down. Zarel returned, claws dripping, but unharmed. She approached slowly, eyes narrowed. The first serpent looked at her. And you, traitor? I follow change, she said. Then help him live. He answered. Aiden fell forward. She caught him. Before he hit the ground, his eyes rolled back. The venom inside him had quieted. For the first time since the source, it slept. The first serpent looked to the horizon. We have feared the wrong things for too long. And for the first time, the army stepped back. A human had survived the venom, and now perhaps the venom had survived the human. Asterisk. Aiden lay still in Zarel's arms as the venom inside him quieted like the end of a storm. His chest rose slowly. Each breath was heavier than the last. The glow in his skin had dimmed, but it hadn't vanished. The battlefield around them had fallen silent, not with death, but with awe. The serpent warriors stood in still formation. The harvesters no longer moved. Even the wind slowed to a whisper. The first serpent looked down at Aiden with eyes that had seen centuries of conquest. His voice was low and calm, meant not for armies but for the soul. He is not a weapon, he said. He is a mirror. Zarel cradled Aiden gently. Her claws retracted. Her posture lowered in respect, not submission, not defeat, but understanding. She looked up at the first serpent. Will they accept what he is? They will have to, the first serpent replied. Or they will vanish trying to stop it. The warriors did not speak, but they lowered their weapons, one by one. The army that had come to erase a mistake now stood before something greater than orders. They stood before choice. Aiden's eyes blinked open. His breath was ragged. He reached out and gripped the dirt. It felt solid beneath his hand, real, alive. I'm still here, he whispered. Zarel smiled faintly. You never left. I thought it would kill me, he said. It tried, she replied. And you broke it. The first serpent stepped forward and placed one hand on Aiden's shoulder. His touch was light but heavy with memory. A gesture of respect from one who had never shown it before. Human, he said. You are now more than flesh, more than venom. You are a thread in the great coil. Aiden groaned as he sat up. I didn't ask to be in your religion. You didn't ask to be born either, the old one said. But you still matter. The warriors formed a circle around them, not to trap, but to witness. They had seen war. They had followed fear. But this was something else. This was change. Zarel helped Aiden to his feet. He swayed but didn't fall. His eyes locked with the first serpent. There was no hatred, only weight. So what now? Aiden asked. The first serpent turned to the sky. The clouds above had parted. Sunlight filtered through for the first time in days. The sky no longer burned. It glowed. We let the venom choose, he said. From the ridge, a green beam shot into the sky. It came from the source. Its light was steady. A heartbeat across the planet. Aiden felt it again. This time it didn't burn. It called. It wants me to return, he said. Yes, the first serpent answered. The source accepts you fully, but now it must listen to you. Aiden looked at Zarel. She nodded once. Her eyes were clear. Her voice steady. We go together, she said. They stepped forward as the circle of warriors parted. None spoke. None dared to stop them. A new path was opening, not by vote, not by battle, but by choice. The journey back to the source was quiet. The wind whispered through the trees. Creatures that once fled now watched from the shadows. Even the jungle had changed. When they reached the cavern, the glowing pool pulsed brighter than before. It knew he had returned. The walls shimmered as if breathing with anticipation. Aiden approached the edge. The venom inside him stirred gently, not with rage, with purpose. The bond was complete, but something still remained unfinished. What do I do? He asked. Zirel stepped beside him. You speak to the source? He asked. To everything, she replied. Aiden knelt by the pool. He placed one hand into the light. It wrapped around him without pain. Warm, alive, he closed his eyes. His voice was steady. No more death, no more conquest, no more lies. This bond does not belong to rulers, it belongs to life. The light surged. A pulse like thunder rolled through the cavern. Every warrior across the jungle felt it. The source had listened, and it had answered. Aiden stood. His eyes glowed green. His voice echoed not just in the cave, but in the minds of every serpent born. You can kill to survive, or you can live to protect. Choose. Outside, the ships lifted silently from the cliffs. They did not attack. They vanished into the sky like dust caught in the wind. The war had ended without a blade. Zirel looked at Aiden. Her voice barely rose above the hum of the source. What are you now? He turned to her slowly. The glow in his veins faded into stillness. His body no longer burned. His heart beat steady. I'm still human, he said. But I remember what it feels like not to be. She took his hand. Her claws no longer sharp. Her eyes no longer guarded. We began as enemies, she said. Now we begin again, he replied. The cavern behind them pulsed one last time before dimming to silence. The source no longer needed to speak. Its will had been passed on. They left the jungle together, not chased, not feared, but followed. Behind them, warriors dropped their armor. They walked without command, without war. The stars above opened wider. The venom that had once ended worlds now pulsed quietly in the heart of a single man. A man who refused to die. A man who chose to live. Man who was never supposed to survive the bite. Asterisk.